In the shadows of post-Thatcherite Britain, in a London charged with cultural friction and creative rebellion, a new sound was emerging. It was fast, frenetic, politically charged, and defiantly underground. It was called jungle. The origins of the term jungle remain disputed. While many say Rebel MC, aka Congo Natty, popularised the term, other sources argue there are bigger influences. In Simon Reynolds' Energy Flash, MC Navigator of Cool FM attributes the term to a chant sampled from a Jamaican Yardie tape, All the Junglists. According to him, once Rebel sampled this, the name took hold. Others suggest the term originated from MC Moose, or even MC Mad P of Top Buzz. To some, jungle was a radical term, a reclamation of a name once used to shame black music. In the same year, Marlon Hart, more well known as MB, was gifted an audio workstation by his father, Junior Hart, who ran H-Jam Production. In March 1990, Junior founded Rank Records just to release Marlon's work. The debut track, Let's Pop an E.
Let's pop an E! Let's go!
Early MB productions would become central to jungle's rise. Jungle began life around 150 to 155 BPM, gradually rising to 160 to 170 as it evolved, before going half-time at 80. Its rhythmic DNA relied heavily on breakbeats, especially iconic drum loops, such as the Amen break from Amen Brother by the Winstons. Think About It by Lynn Collins. And James Brown's Funky Drummer.
1, 2, 3, 4, get it! God.
These samples were sliced, pitched, and looped into aggressive patterns. Production techniques were just as rebellious as the sound. Samplers like the emulator and the Roland JV1080 were essential tools, and software such as Ultimed, running on the Commodore Amiga, allowed producers to create complex arrangements using accessible home producing. The newfound availability of home software and computers being able to handle music production, however 8-bit it sounded, fueled the explosion in popularity to come, as people could sample records during a time where 7-inch records were slowly dying out in favour of cassettes. This made them extremely affordable, which gave home producers access to high-quality sounds and allowed the everyman to produce. The rave scene exploded across the UK. Legal venues like Labyrinth, Shelley's Laserdome, and the Eclipse thrived alongside illegal outdoor parties held by crews like Spiral Tribe. Spiral Tribe first formed as a sound system in 1990, organising free parties in the UK. Between 1990 and 1992, Collective organised or were involved in over 30 free parties, raves and festivals in indoor and outdoor locations. The three founding members of Spiral Tribe were Mark Harrison, Debbie Griffith and Simone Feeney. According to Harrison, the name Spiral Tribe came to him when he was at work, staring at a poster of interconnecting spirals in an ammonite shell, while the number 23 associated with Spiral Tribe was introduced by Harrison. Influences poured in from across genres: hip-hop, house, Belgian techno, acid house and reggae. The hybrid style, and then as breakbeat hardcore, was the crucible in which jungle was being forged. On November 28, 1991, Cool FM began broadcasting on 94.5 FM from Clapton, East London. It would later become one of the most influential pirate stations in jungle's development. Cool championed early jungle sounds before the genre had even fully solidified. That year, LTJ Buchan, trained as a classical pianist and specialising in jazz fusion, released Logical Progression.
What makes us stumble and fall, and somehow miraculously rise and go on?
It marked a fusion of complex rhythm with jazz-influenced textures, a style that would evolve into what is later known as intelligent drum and bass. Meanwhile, Congo Natty released his second album, Black Meaning Good.
But in areas where we see that the government will not protect us or defend us or find those who have brutalized us and made us the victims for the past 400 years, then it is time for us to do whatever is necessary to defend ourselves.
The album fused hip house with roots reggae dub, featuring reggae legends Barrington Levy, Turner Fly and Dennis Brown, early precursors to jungle's political undertones. The breakbeat hardcore scene began to fracture. Piano-driven, uplifting vocals diverged into happy hardcore. A noticeable artist of happy hardcore is DJ Seduction, who is the epitome of hard-hitting jungle breaks combined with stabs of piano chords. Darker, grittier productions formed a subgenre known as darkcore. Labels such as Ibiza Records and artists like Rebel MC integrated sound system culture more directly into the music. The shift gave birth to what would soon be called jungle techno and hardcore jungle. New talents emerged, such as Shy FX, who at just 15 years old released his debut single Jungle Love on Permission to Dance. Goldie under the alias of Refuge Crew, releasing Terminator. A landmark track that pioneered time stretching in jungle production, a signature effect where vocal or breakbeat samples are stretched, creating robotic, stuttering sound. He would later become one of the genre's most iconic figures. LTJ Boogum releasing Demon's Theme, refining his ambient jazz breakbeat approach, and Congo Natty, who drops his third album, Word, Sound and Power, featuring politicized reggae-infused tracks like Richer Getting Richer. Epitomizing the anti-government, left-leaning nature of jungle bred from the oppression of the black population of the UK. The track sampled the Twinkle Brothers, Junior Byles and King Tubby, integrating Kunta Kinte dubplate, an enduring sound system anthem from the 70s. By 1993, jungle was no longer an emerging sound, it was a movement. The term jungle became standard vernacular, tracks became darker, heavier and more refined. Key tracks from the year include Dark Age by DJ Solo, Valley of the Shadows by Origin Unknown,
31 seconds. 31 seconds.
28 Gun Bad Boy by a guy called Gerald, and Set Me Free by Potential Bad Boy. Clubs like AWOL, Roast and Telepathy played host to the sound, supported by DJs such as DJ Ron, Mickey Finn, Kenny Ken and DJ Dextrous. Meanwhile, venues like the Velvet Underground, Turnmills, Bagley's and The Cross were redefining UK night. Cool FM expanded into event promotion, launching Jungle Fever in August 1993. In 1994, Jungle achieved mainstream visibility. M-Beat released Incredible, featuring General Levy.
Yo, Matty will of them, I spin them like a windmill. You talk for them, go to them a week of the skill. Dance can nice and less when they on the bill. And the girls see you with vices like them dreams can't fulfill.
And it became a top 10 UK hit and carnival anthem overnight. But Levy's public claim that he ran jungle was perceived as self-serving and against the community-centred nature. They also feared his attitude would endanger the authenticity of the genre, causing commercialisation. A backlash ensued, resulting in blacklisting by a jungle committee, permanently changing the course of his career. His shows and music were boycotted and he lost airtime on both legal and illegal radio. However, this controversy gained him a large international following and made his career. That same year, Shy FX and UK Apache released Original Nutter.
You never know you can watch it. Big in a jungle. We tell everybody, watch it now, man. Me at the nutter, original man, nutter, original
Apache of Iraqi and South African descent drew on his sound system roots and childhood love of reggae and dub. The track's explosive energy, combined with Apache's commanding vocal delivery, made it one of Jungle's definitive anthems, yet calling himself a Jafaican. Meanwhile, LTJ Bukem released Atlantis. And music. And began promoting jazz-influenced compilations through his label Good Looking Records. Artists like Blame, Seba, Blue Martin and Aquarius, an alias of Photec, gained recognition. Goldie launched Metalheads, a label intended to explore the roots of the breakbeat jungle and rework them into a new dimension, drum and bass. The label's debut, VIP Drums by Doc Scott, and Rider's Ghost by Goldie set the tone. In 1994, the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act was passed, targeting raves and banning gatherings featuring music with repetitive beats. Jungle, inherently rebellious, only grew stronger, and illegal raves popped up in warehouses and forests, and more people entered the subculture. Congo Natty, now a devoted Rastafarian, released Code Red as Conquering Lion featuring Supercat.
Ah, junglers! Ah, junglers! Ah, junglers! Ah, junglers! Ah, junglers!
This led to major label interest, including a signing to Mango Records. On July 16, 1995, LTJ Bukem and MC Conrad appeared on the BBC Radio 1's Essential Mix, cementing Jungle's stature. That year, Goldie released his debut album, Timeless. The album was hailed as a masterpiece. The title track and Inner City Life introduced Jungle to new audiences and critics alike. The album reached number 7 on the UK Albums Chart. Meanwhile, The End, a new club launched by Leo Paskin and Mr. C, opened in London. It quickly became a spiritual home for drum and bass, techno, and the emerging tech house scene, sometimes including hardcore jungle sets from producers and DJs alike. In 1996, N-Beat released Do You Know Where You're Coming From, featuring Jamiroquai. Again blending jungle with soul pop elements and further increasing the following by collaborating with more popular artists. Club drug use peaked. 12% of UK clubbers reported using MDMA, while 6% used GHB, although realistic expectation is significantly higher due to false reports. Jungle lyrics and culture referenced ecstasy use frequently. reflecting a scene intertwined with chemical exploration for a heightened party experience. Jungle wasn't just background music, it was fueling the energy and shared feeling of freedom and bliss, which ecstasy amplified beyond comprehension. Congo Natty released Lose Your Soul in 1998.
Don't be discouraged, life will pitfalls and their worries. They enjoy for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And if you lose your soul, there's nothing to gain, it will be over.
Continuing his deeply spiritual and militant lyrical themes. And finally, in 1999, Jungle made its cinematic debut with Human Traffic. Directed by Justin Kerrigan, the film captured the emotional core of clubbing, ecstasies, and weekend hedonism. It became a generational touchstone, a love letter to the last true youth movement before the digital age. From inner city basements to top 10 charts, from pirate airwaves to world tours, Jungle was never just a genre, it was a rebellion, a culture, and an innovation in sound. Built from fragments of global diasporas and forged in the fire of British resistance, it redefined what black British music could be. However, it keeps evolving, with new artists cropping up regularly. It became a permanent point on the map. Jungle didn't just change the beat, it changed the game.